Hey there, my name's Evan Bourcier and I'm the director for the music video for Zealand's new single, Good Good Father. Today I just want to give you a quick peek behind the scenes at how we made this music video happen. It all started with a pitch, where we decided we wanted to do a performance video that really gave the feeling of the band celebrating that God is a good, good father. I decided early on that I would love to shoot on the Arri Amira and Cooke S4i minis, mainly just because that was really a look that I enjoy. I'm not really looking for super high resolution, so I wasn't worried about the drag-in, and I knew I wanted to shoot Easyrig and Dolly, and so the size of the Amira was actually more beneficial than a problem for me. The internal NDs of the Amira were also a really big advantage to choosing that over the Dragon. We started the day off by scouting the farm and going around a few locations. The groundskeepers at Milky Way Farms were integral to this being possible. They took us around in these souped up golf carts called Rangers and showed us all the cool spots on the farm that we might want to shoot on it. And once we had seen that, we were able to kind of pick which ones we were going to use and make a rough schedule for the day. We started off at the indoor location, which was an office actually. Milky Way Farms comes from Mars Bar's lineage. It was owned by the founder of Mars Bars, so the office was Mr. Mars' office. So we decided to start in there because it was midday, bright sunlight, and we didn't really want to deal with that outside, so we decided to just come inside where we could control the light and kind of have that be our first setup of the day. The office we hazed using a DF50 hazer, which was great. The office scene is keyed using a Joker 800 through a window camera right, and it's kind of accentuated and filled in a little more with a Joker 400, which is bouncing off a 4x4 beadboard, just a little bit more on axis with the camera so the light wasn't too sidey. We also have a Source 4 in the background on the left side of the frame, which is creating that orange beam coming down on the keyboard. Inside the office we shot all in the Dana Dolly, all hazed, and no filters other than the internal NDs on the camera itself. The next setup we went to was called the Sheepgate setup, which was the outdoor setup in this big old barn that had burned down, I believe, a long time ago, and so there was just kind of the foundation left with these trees growing in it, and it kind of felt like this cool outdoor cathedral. Originally, we thought that we were going to have to cut some of the dappled sunlight coming through, so we had a 12 by silk on standby, but we actually ended up not needing it really, so that was totally natural light, which was great given our schedule. We just kind of set up and rocked. That was all in the Easyrig, and that was all using a quarter ProMist. Everything that we shot outdoors after the office scene was quarter ProMist on the Cookes. So after we did a few passes of the Sheepgate, a couple wides and a couple tights of each man member, while the crew was packing up that location, Phil and myself and Heather and Aaron, my AC, all ran down this path to this kind of side section of the woods, which is where we shot Phil by himself kind of walking down this hill and worshiping. So that was another setup that was super simple. We just ran probably 4 quick takes of it, mainly for the verses, and that worked out really well. So at that point, once we wrapped Phil by himself, we had done the office, we had done the Sheepgate, and we had done that quick setup with just Phil. We ran back over just as the crew was finishing packing up the Sheepgate location. We hopped in the vans and we headed over to the hill, which was our final setup for sunset. We also got to use the DJI Phantom 3 a little bit, which is mine. We used it some at the hill location and at the Sheepgate location for those opening and closing shots on the video. So the hill was another quick, simple setup. We intentionally wanted to get this kind of silhouetted feel with the sunset in the background, so throughout the day when we were scouting earlier, we had a few options, and I would pull out my Sunseeker app on my phone and see where the sunset was going to be so we could try and strategically position it behind them, where we would have this cool view of rolling hills in the background and a sunset and them on top of a hill silhouetted. So Sunseeker is a great app that really makes it possible to find the locations you want, even if you're scouting at 10 o'clock in the morning. And really, I can't stress enough the importance of scouting and scheduling, because without being able to pick specific locations and realize what the pros of each location would be, and being able to schedule a day in such a way that we could best play to the pros of each location, we would have had to do a whole lot more modification to each of these scenes, whether that be bringing in lights or bounces or negative fill or anything. And we were able to run so light and lean and get 4 setups in just a few hours because it was scheduled and worked out really well, that we didn't really have to do a lot to each location. Another quick side note, we shot all 4K ProRes 422 HQ on the Amira and 4K on the Phantom 3 as well, which allowed us to do a full native UHD edit and put up on YouTube in 4K. So at the end of all that, we'd gotten 4 setups in one day, driving all around this farm and doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So super thankful to Phil and Heather and the band guys for everything they did to make this possible. Super thankful to the crew, and super thankful for everyone at Word and Warner Music Group for the opportunity to make something really cool. So if you haven't seen the video yet, you should go check it out, and if you have seen it, you should really share it on Facebook and Twitter.